Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a hypnosis session based on the idea of Hanlon's razor. And Hanlon's razor is an idea of basically thinking about people in such a way where you assume that rather than there being some kind of malicious or sinister motive, that actually you perceive that people generally have kind or at least neutral motives and are just caught up in their own world. And it's based on this idea that people don't really think about you that much. They're not worrying about you. They're not out to get you. They're not trying to make you feel bad. They're just living their life. And if you can attribute either just a lack of thinking and consideration rather than malice, then that is a good place to start. And I was working with this client who was triggered often into states of anger, sometimes rage, feeling provoked. And it entirely made sense because working with a client, I knew the kind of childhood they had, and they grew up in an environment where they were treated very unfairly and there were malicious motives. And what can happen is the human mind is very, very good at trying to survive and protect from bad experiences. So because those experiences were absolutely valid and real in their childhood, it created an overreaction where they would seek to defend themselves and seek to protect themselves, even if it wasn't necessary or even true. There was this hypervigilance. So what you're going to be hearing in this hypnosis session is a way of thinking about people's motives to be harmless or at least neutral, to give them a way of thinking about things differently, and also that if they do get triggered, they're able to think back to the thing that triggered them with a new meaning, a new perspective, where they get to see that actually there could have been this a completely different intention behind what had happened. And this client knew that to be true. There was a couple of recent examples where they were absolutely triggered, but then once they found out afterwards, there wasn't any intention to upset them or disrespect them. They just perceived it that way in the moment. So this is a hypnosis session about Hanlon's razor, and it is designed to give you the ability to neutralize some of those situations or people or things that might be triggering you, particularly into anger or frustration. This was created for a very specific individual with specific childhood background and experiences. Some of the suggestions may have been perfect for them and not quite right for you. So if you do like the idea of working with me directly, check out the description and there'll be a link there to book a free consultation call, and we'll have a chat about what it would look like to work together. For now though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that slow, calm, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. And with your eyes closed, notice how you can slightly adjust your body to position your body in a way where relaxation is not just possible, but inevitable, to allow your breathing to slow. To scan your body for any clues of tension, stress, or worries. Breathing in that relaxation and exhaling that tension. And just feel that with every outward breath, you're becoming more and more relaxed. I want you to imagine a beach with waves that seem to be angry. Maybe the aftermath of a storm. Choppy waters. I want you to get a sense that sometimes your emotions can feel this way. Unsettled. Volatile. But imagine staring at the waves, seeing a kayak on the shore, and as you breathe in that relaxation and exhale that tension, imagine seeing the waters start to calm. The waves get smaller. It feels like it's heading in a direction of more and more calm waters. As you breathe in that relaxation, scan your body for those clues of tension and just allow it to be released in your outward breath. And for some people, it's tightness in the jaw. Perhaps the neck or the shoulders, perhaps around the forehead. And as you see those choppy waves getting calmer and calmer, feel that happening inside your body too. Breathing deeper, feeling more relaxed, quietening the mind. And then start to imagine calm waters on the waves. Gently bobbing up and down, but these are calm waters now. Imagine getting into that kayak and going out into the ocean. Notice how safe you feel on the calm waters. No winds, perhaps just a very light breeze. And as you go out, I want you to imagine seeing the fin of a dolphin. And as you kayak out further and further from shore, imagine seeing more of those dolphin. And I want you to notice the temperament of a dolphin. They are intelligent, but more often than not, they use that intelligence to be collaborative, playful. And the more you look at those dolphin, the more it activates those qualities within you. as you feel an increasing sensation of relaxation on the water, and just feel that being there, surrounded by this natural beauty and playful energy, that your mind is taking you to a place where things don't need to change but simply evolve. I want you to get a sense that most beliefs are simply echoes of the past when those beliefs were useful. But just because something was useful when you were young doesn't mean they're useful right now. I want you to imagine carrying something on that kayak that is weighing you down, impeding your ability to enjoy. And you can choose to keep carrying that heavy weight or cumbersome item, or you can let that thing go. And as you let that thing go, see it sink down, all the way down to the bottom of the sea. And notice how much lighter you feel, freer, that it's easier to kayak in the way that you want once you've let that thing go. That's it, breathing in and breathing out. Notice even more the rhythm of your breathing, the gentle rise and fall, a little slower, a little deeper. With each easy breath, and with each exhale, your muscles can relax just a little bit more. You might even imagine a soft wave of calm starting at the top of your head, flowing down slowly over your forehead, your eyes, relaxing the tiny muscles around your mouth and jaw. And as the wave moves down your neck and shoulders, you might notice a sense of letting go, as though every muscle knows how to soften, how to loosen, how to simply relax. And there, out on the calm sea, consider this a calm space, and allow a new understanding to take root. A powerful, freeing realization that most people are caught up in their own worlds, thinking their own thoughts, carrying their own burdens. And more, you will notice that these people are simply lost in their own world, rarely thinking about you at all. And that's perfectly okay. And every time someone behaves in a way that once felt personal, rude or disrespectful, you can now wonder, what else could this mean? Opening up a space for patience and for peace. And the more you relax into this knowing, the more you realize that most actions around you are not attacks or provocation or disrespect, They are echoes of other people's struggles and not reflections of your worth. And you can become curious about what unseen burdens others might be carrying, rather than assuming they are focused on you. And those times that you've triggered other people, you weren't trying to do that. They were echoes of your burdens and your past. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. As you start to feel that in all those times you've accidentally triggered other people, what if other people are accidentally triggering you? What once triggered anger could now trigger compassion. As you recognize confusion, clumsiness, or fear instead of malice, each breath helps you loosen the old idea that people are either against you or simply don't want you. Allow that belief to float away, and instead strengthen the deeper truth that most people are simply busy surviving their own story. There was a time when you were vulnerable, but you are safe enough now to notice that much of what once seemed like rejection was really distraction, misunderstanding, or personal chaos or clumsiness in other people. And even when someone's words are sharp or rude, you can now wonder, what's going on in their world? How much pain must they be in to act that way? What if it's a reflection of them, not a reflection of you? What if instead of feeling attacked, you feel they are just giving you a glimpse into their inner world, their pain, their struggles? More and more, you enjoy the freedom of not taking the bait, not walking into battles that were never yours to begin with. These old patterns of defense or escape can be replaced with a shield of calm curiosity about what else could be happening. It becomes easier to remember. Most people are thinking about themselves, not plotting anything about you. You can accept that imperfection in others does not need to threaten or in fact disrupt your peace. I want you to imagine kayaking near to a rocky cove. You're in the calm waters. Just imagine seeing a large rock dislodge from the cliff and enter the calm waters. Should the calm waters make that rock personal to them, or just allow the rock to be the rock? The waters may, just for a few moments, feel with a few waves and a few movements, but very quickly, the water goes back to being calm again. And I want you to imagine this now becomes your default approach. Consider yourself calm waters, and other people may temporarily affect your waters, but not for long. They are them and you are you. And you can be curious why the rock fell into the water without making it all about you. I want you to get a sense that the new default position will be either people have positive or neutral intentions, but not malicious intentions. And you will separate intentions from execution. You will subscribe to the belief that people can have positive intentions, but execute those positive intentions in a clumsy, unthoughtful way. But you will lean towards the intention, not the execution. Every day your mind becomes quicker at finding positive or neutral, or even compassionate explanations for things that you once took personally. And your past taught you to expect malice, cruelty. But your wisdom now teaches you to expect misunderstanding or distraction instead. A small smile may even come to your lips as you realize, this is not about me. And that feels lighter every time. When uncertainty arises, your unconscious mind can automatically remind you, confusion, not cruelty. And you are free to interpret people's actions in ways that protect your peace, rather than ignite old fires. What if your first instinct now becomes patience? And with patience, you see things much more clearly. You no longer inherit other people's emotional storms. You can notice them like clouds in the sky above the ocean. They can be there, they can float by, and you can stay rooted in your calm center. And just as clouds pass, so too do careless words, distracted glances, or forgotten gestures, none of which define you. Because you are free now. You get to choose your own meanings. You get to speculate on the real intentions. And you're free to live without those old burdens, because that freedom belongs to you. I want you to get a sense that you can never jump to the conclusion that it is about you. And now going forward, it doesn't make sense to attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity or ignorance. Your unconscious will assume that people doing things that in the past provoked you are not mean and not rude, but perhaps caught up in their own worlds, or at worst, ignorant or stupid, but not mean and not cruel. As you allow these ideas to take root, Imagine kayaking back to the shore, seeing those playful dolphins. And how is it that those dolphins get to be so playful? With all of that intelligence, maybe they figured out that it's simply a more enjoyable life through calibration and playfulness rather than conflict and chaos. As you kayak back to the shore, imagine saying goodbye to those dolphins, but realizing the version of you that returns to the shore is a different version of you that left out into the sea. And I want you to imagine someone there on the shore doing something that in the past would have absolutely provoked you. Maybe it's a look or a phrase. Maybe they're saying something or doing something. And notice how much easier it is now to find an explanation that makes it not about you. And if it feels that something has shifted, something has changed, that you're able to attribute things in a new way that is opening up a doorway to a future of less conflict and less anger and more collaboration and more understanding, let me know by nodding your head. It's time to return to the present. You take these changes with you, so take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, start to connect and calibrate into the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.